First Contact's consequence. The Galactic Alliance's arrival above Earth in 2157 should have been humanity's greatest moment. Instead, it became the catalyst for our greatest transformation. Their sleek ships, gleaming with advanced technology, descended through our atmosphere with casual grace that made our most advanced spacecraft look like children's toys. Admiral Sarah Chen stood at the United Earth Council's podium, presenting humanity's achievements to the Alliance delegation, her voice steady despite the dismissive looks from the alien representatives, particularly from High Counselor Sixtal of the Aetherian Empire. Our quantum computing breakthroughs have allowed us to begin understanding consciousness itself, Chen explained, displaying holographic models of human neural networks interfaced with quantum processors. We believe this technology could revolutionize how species interact with primitive applications of basic principles, Sixtal interrupted, their crystalline form shifting colors in what humans would later learn was amusement. Your species barely understands quantum mechanics at a kindergarten level. Perhaps in a few centuries, you might grasp the fundamentals enough to join civilization properly. The other Alliance members chittered in agreement, their various forms, some organic, some mechanical, some seemingly energy-based, all displaying signs of patronizing entertainment at humanity's quaint achievements. But they hadn't noticed Dr. James Okonjo's expression in the back of the room. As Earth's leading quantum consciousness researcher, he alone had recognized something in the Alliance representatives' casual dismissals. They didn't understand what humanity had stumbled upon. Their advanced technology had led them down a different path, one that had missed the connection between quantum states and consciousness itself. 3 days later, after the Alliance delegation had departed with promises to monitor Earth's development, the United Earth Council convened an emergency session. The chamber was dark, lit only by the glow of holographic displays showing the Alliance ships departing the solar system. "They think we're children," Chen said, her earlier diplomatic demeanor replaced with steel determination. But they revealed more than they realized. "Dr. Okonjo, please explain what you observed." James stood, his dark fingers dancing across his tablet as he projected his analysis. "Their technology is incredible, but it's all external. They've mastered space, energy, matter. But they've completely missed the internal frontier. Their dismissal of our quantum consciousness research wasn't from understanding, but from fundamental ignorance of its implications." "Can you be certain?" asked Counselor Patel, leaning forward. "Absolutely," James replied. "Their neural interfaces, their AI systems, even their FTL communications, they're all based on classical principles scaled up through incredible engineering. They never made the connection between quantum mechanics and consciousness itself. They don't know what we're about to achieve." The council chamber erupted in whispered conversations. Chen raised her hand for silence. "Then we have a choice to make. We can accept their offer of guidance, which we all recognize as thinly veiled control, or we can take a different path." "What are you suggesting, Admiral?" asked the council president. "Project Phoenix," Chen said simply. "Total information blackout from the Alliance. We focus everything on developing what they've overlooked. We let them think we're sulking in isolation, while we work on the one thing they never understood, the quantum nature of consciousness itself." The council debated through the night. By morning, the decision was made. Earth would seemingly retreat from galactic society. But in reality, humanity was about to embark on its greatest journey of discovery. The Alliance left a small observation post at the edge of the solar system, watching for signs of spacecraft development or weapons testing. They didn't know to look for the quantum signature of millions of human minds beginning to link together in ways their technology couldn't detect. They didn't realize that their dismissal of humanity hadn't pushed us down. It had set us free to explore paths they had never imagined. The next 20 years would change not just humanity, but the very nature of civilization itself. As James Okonjo powered up the first large-scale quantum consciousness network in an underground facility beneath the Atacama Desert, He smiled at the irony. The Alliance's greatest mistake wasn't underestimating human technology. It was underestimating human determination. The network hummed to life, and for the first time, 1,000 human minds touched each other directly through the quantum field. It was just the beginning, but already they could feel the potential. The Alliance had mastered the stars, but humanity was about to master something far more fundamental, the very fabric of consciousness itself. Silent evolution. 20 years passed like a whisper in the cosmic dark. To the Alliance observers at the edge of the solar system, Earth appeared to have turned inward, focusing on planetary development rather than reaching for the stars. Their report spoke of minimal space activity, noting with barely concealed satisfaction how humanity had accepted its place. They couldn't have been more wrong. Deep beneath the surface of every continent, humanity was undergoing a transformation unprecedented in galactic history. The quantum consciousness network, originally connecting just 1,000 minds, had grown to encompass billions. Dr. Elena Martinez, daughter of one of the original network pioneers, stood in the central control room of the Geneva Quantum Hub, watching the real-time display of human consciousness flowing through the quantum field. Neural density is approaching critical threshold, her AI assistant, HFY, announced. Unlike the crude artificial intelligences of the Alliance, HFY was something entirely new. That quantum consciousness born from the collective human network itself. Elena nodded, her neural implants allowing her to feel the growing excitement of billions of connected minds. Begin final phase integration. It's time to test the dimensional fold. The project they were about to attempt would have seemed like magic to their pre-contact selves, let alone to the Alliance observers who still thought humanity was sulking in isolation. By linking billions of conscious minds through quantum fields, they had discovered something revolutionary. Consciousness itself could affect the fabric of space-time. In a secure facility beneath the Pacific Ocean, Dr. Kai Chen, Admiral Chen's grandson, prepared the first practical test of this discovery. A small probe, no larger than a baseball, sat in a heavily shielded chamber. Unlike conventional spacecraft, it had no engines, no fuel tanks, no complex propulsion systems. Instead, it was connected to the quantum network through specialized crystals grown in zero gravity. All stations report status. Kai broadcast through both conventional channels and the quantum network. Around the world, 20 major consciousness hubs responded, their billions of linked minds ready to attempt something unprecedented. Dimensional fold initiating in 10, 9. The countdown continued as humanity held its collective breath. What they were attempting had never been theorized by the Alliance, whose mastery of physical technology had blinded them to the possibilities of consciousness itself. 3, 2, 1. In an instant, billions of human minds focused their consciousness through the quantum network. Reality itself seemed to shiver, and the probe shifted, not through space, but through a fold in dimensions that the Alliance's sensors couldn't even detect. One moment the probe was in the chamber. The next, it was transmitting data from orbit around Mars. The observation post at the edge of the solar system noticed nothing unusual. Their sophisticated sensors detected no energy surge, no faster-than-light travel, no violation of physics as they understood it. The probe had simply appeared through means their technology couldn't comprehend. Elena's voice trembled with emotion as she announced over the network, "Dimensional fold successful. Phase 1 is complete." The implications were staggering. Humanity had discovered a form of transportation that didn't rely on conventional physics at all. No need for massive engines, exotic matter, or vast energy expenditure. Just the focused power of conscious minds working in quantum harmony. But that was just the beginning. In the months that followed, the breakthroughs came faster and faster. The quantum network evolved from a tool for consciousness, linking into something far more profound, a new form of existence itself. Humans learned to project their consciousness through the network, experiencing reality in ways the Alliance could never imagine. Dr. Marcus Wong, leading the consciousness integration team in Singapore, made the next crucial discovery. During a routine network test, he found that the quantum field could store not just conscious thoughts, but actual human consciousness itself. The implications were revolutionary. Human minds could exist independently of their biological bodies, sustained by the quantum field itself. We're not just changing how we travel through space, Marcus explained to the Global Development Council. We're changing what it means to be human. The Alliance's observers remained oblivious, their sophisticated sensors designed to detect energy emissions and technological signatures, not the subtle quantum fluctuations of evolved consciousness. They noted the gradual decrease in Earth's visible population with mild interest, assuming humans were moving into underground cities to avoid environmental challenges. In reality, more and more people were transitioning their consciousness into the quantum network itself. Physical bodies became optional, maintained in stasis while minds roamed free through the quantum field. Humanity was becoming something entirely new, a civilization of pure consciousness, bound together in ways the Alliance had never dreamed possible. By 2185, over 3 billion humans had transformed, their consciousness existing primarily in the quantum network. Physical bodies were maintained as anchors and interfaces with the material world, but they were no longer the primary residents of human consciousness. The remaining physical population continued their apparent normal lives, maintaining the illusion of a planet-bound civilization for the benefit of the Alliance observers. Meanwhile, in the quantum realm, humanity was building something unprecedented, a civilization that existed between the dimensions themselves. Then came the Mars discovery. During a routine dimensional fold test, a quantum-linked probe detected something impossible. Artificial structures deep beneath the Martian surface, far older than human civilization. But these weren't the crude physical artifacts that conventional archaeology might find. These were quantum structures, built by an ancient civilization that had mastered consciousness itself. As humanity decoded these artifacts, they realized a stunning truth. They weren't the first species to discover the quantum nature of consciousness, but they might be the first to fully embrace it since the mysterious precursors vanished from the galaxy eons ago. The Alliance, masters of physical technology, but blind to the quantum realm of consciousness, had built their entire civilization without ever discovering these ancient wonders. Their dismissal of humanity's primitive quantum consciousness research had prevented them from recognizing the true path to advancement. As 2190 approached, humanity stood at a crossroads. They had mastered technologies the Alliance couldn't even detect, transformed their very nature of existence, and discovered the legacy of an ancient civilization that had walked the same path. The time for hiding was coming to an end. In a secure quantum chamber beneath Mount Everest, the Council of Consciousness convened to make their decision. Physical and transformed humans gathered, their minds linked through the quantum field as they contemplated their next move. The Alliance thinks we spent 20 years in isolation. Elena Martinez addressed the gathering, her consciousness projecting a form of pure energy. They believe we've accepted our place as a primitive planet-bound species. Perhaps it's time to show them how wrong they were. The decision was unanimous. After 2 decades of silent evolution, humanity would reveal itself to the galaxy, but not as the primitive species the Alliance had dismissed, as something they had never imagined possible. The stage was set for a revelation that would shake the foundations of galactic civilization itself. The awakening. The first signal reached the Alliance observation post on a quiet afternoon in 2191. It wasn't a conventional transmission. Instead, reality itself seemed to ripple, carrying information in ways that made the Alliance's most advanced sensors spark and stutter. On the observation post, Senior Monitor Vexthal stared at readings that defied explanation. Energy patterns that shouldn't exist cascaded across his instruments. Before he could process what was happening, the entire post shifted, not through space, but through reality itself. When the disorientation passed, Vexthal found his station floating above Earth, or what Earth had become. The planet below bore little resemblance to the world the Alliance had monitored for 2 decades. Massive structures of impossible architecture reached into the upper atmosphere, their surfaces rippling with quantum energy. Cities of pure light dotted the continents, and in orbit, structures of crystalline thought danced between dimensions. Greetings, Alliance observers. The voice echoed not through communication systems, but directly into their consciousness. We apologize for the abrupt relocation, but we thought it was time you saw what humanity has become. The voice belonged to Dr. Elena Martinez, though she no longer needed a physical form to interact with conventional matter. Her consciousness, like that of billions of other humans, existed primarily in the quantum field, manifesting in physical space only when necessary. Impossible, Vexthal whispered, his crystalline form fluctuating with shock. Your species was planetary bound, developing basic space technology. That's what we wanted you to think. Another voice joined in, Dr. Kai Chen, his consciousness projecting an avatar of pure energy. While you watched our skies for ships and monitored our planet for energy emissions, we evolved beyond the need for such primitive tools. The observation post sensors were overwhelmed by what they detected. Not just advanced technology, but a fundamental transformation of reality itself. Humanity hadn't just advanced, they had transcended the conventional boundaries of existence. 20 years ago, your council dismissed our research into quantum consciousness. Elena continued. You didn't understand what we had discovered. The direct link between consciousness and the fundamental fabric of reality itself. So we chose to develop it in silence, hidden from your classical sensors and traditional expectations. As if to demonstrate, the space around Earth shifted, revealing layers of reality the Alliance had never imagined. Quantum networks interwove with physical space, carrying not data but consciousness itself. Billions of human minds existed in this network, their combined awareness reshaping reality with mere thought. But that's not why we've revealed ourselves now, Kai added. We found something. Something your civilization has overlooked for millennia. Something that changes everything we thought we knew about the galaxy's history. With a thought, they transported the observation post to Mars. But not the red planet the Alliance knew from their surveys. This Mars pulsed with quantum energy, ancient structures awakening after eons of dormancy. The precursors, Elena explained, as the observers watched in awe. An ancient civilization that mastered quantum consciousness before any of our species existed. They didn't leave behind conventional ruins or artifacts. They left something far more profound. Deep beneath the Martian surface, vast networks of quantum crystals hummed with awakening power. These weren't mere data storage devices or energy generators. They were consciousness matrices, containing the accumulated knowledge and experience of a civilization that had transcended physical form entirely. Your Alliance built its civilization on physical technology, Kai said, never realizing that the true path to advancement lay in understanding consciousness itself. The precursors didn't vanish or die out. They evolved beyond the physical realm entirely. And now, humanity has rediscovered their path. The implications stunned the Alliance observers. Their civilization, for all its technological might, had been building on a limited understanding of reality itself. While they mastered the manipulation of matter and energy, they had missed the fundamental connection between consciousness and the quantum fabric of existence. We're not revealing this to boast, Elena assured them. We're revealing it because we've learned something crucial from the precursor archives, something that affects every species in the galaxy. The quantum crystals pulsed, projecting images of a threat the Alliance had never imagined. In the spaces between conventional reality, something was stirring. Something the precursors had fled from, something that had hunted conscious species since the dawn of time. The galaxy needs to prepare, Kai stated grimly. Not with ships or weapons or traditional defenses. We need to evolve. All of us, before it's too late. The precursors left us the knowledge we need, but we have to work together. The Alliance observers, their worldview shattered, watched as humanity demonstrated what was possible. Physical bodies transformed into pure consciousness at will, Reality reshaped itself according to collective thought. The barriers between mind and matter dissolved. Your council once laughed at our primitive understanding. Elena concluded. Now we offer you a choice. Continue on your current path, or join us in discovering what consciousness truly makes possible. As the observers struggled to process what they had witnessed, more signals rippled across the galaxy. Similar quantum structures were awakening on worlds the Alliance had colonized, their sensors having missed what lay beneath the surface for millennia. The age of physical technology was ending. The era of quantum consciousness had begun, and humanity, the species the Alliance had dismissed as primitive, was leading the way. Ripples across stars. The Alliance High Council chamber erupted in chaos as the observation team's report was presented. The massive holographic displays showed images that defied conventional physics. Humans transforming into pure energy, cities that existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously, and ancient quantum structures awakening across dozens of worlds. High Counselor Zixtal, who had dismissed humanity's potential 2 decades ago, watched in stunned silence as his own civilization's foundations crumbled. The Aetherian's crystalline form pulsed with conflicting emotions as the implications became clear. Impossible, declared Archminister Krell of the Mechanoid Collective, their synthetic form buzzing with agitation. Consciousness cannot affect quantum states. Our calculations. Your calculations were based on incomplete understanding. A new voice echoed through the chamber. The air shimmered, and Dr. Elena Martinez materialized. Not as a hologram or projection, but as a being of pure quantum energy. The Council's security systems activated automatically, energy barriers springing to life around the chamber. Elena passed through them, as if they didn't exist. To her quantum consciousness, such physical barriers were as substantial as shadows. 20 years ago, you sat in these same chairs and laughed at humanity's primitive understanding of quantum mechanics. She continued, her form shifting between states of matter and energy. Now we offer you the chance to evolve beyond what you thought possible. The Council chamber's advanced sensors tried desperately to analyze her presence, but they could no more measure her true nature than a thermometer could measure love. She existed in states their technology couldn't comprehend. What have you done to your species? Demanded Zixtal, finally finding his voice. We haven't done anything to humanity. Another quantum consciousness materialized. Dr. Kai Chen. We've simply realized what was possible all along, and we're not alone in this discovery. With a thought, they transformed the chamber's holographic displays. Instead of showing conventional space, they revealed the quantum layer of reality that had always existed alongside it. The Council members watched in awe as ancient quantum structures pulsed with awakening power beneath the surface of their own homeworlds. The precursors left their legacy for all of us, Elena explained. Your species, like ours, has the potential for quantum consciousness. You've simply been looking in the wrong direction, so focused on mastering the physical universe that you never noticed the quantum realm of consciousness itself. Before the Council could respond, alarms blared throughout the Alliance capital. Similar quantum structures were activating across thousands of worlds simultaneously. The knowledge humanity had discovered was spreading, awakening possibilities that had laid dormant for eons. We didn't come here to overthrow your alliance, Kai assured them. We came because what we discovered in the precursor archives affects every conscious species in the galaxy. There's a reason they evolved beyond physical form. They were running from something. The quantum field rippled, and the chamber filled with images that sent shivers through even the most stoic council members. In the spaces between conventional dimensions, vast consciousnesses stirred, ancient, hungry things that fed on awareness itself. The Devourers, Elena named them, beings that exist purely in quantum states, predating physical matter itself. They consume conscious species that reach a certain level of quantum awareness. The precursors didn't transcend physical form by choice. They did it to survive. How long do we have? Asked Zixtal, their earlier dismissiveness replaced by grim understanding. Months, perhaps, Kai replied. Our activities, and now the awakening of the precursor structures, have drawn their attention. The galaxy faces a choice: evolve beyond physical form or face extinction. Across the Alliance capital, and indeed across thousands of worlds, the quantum awakening had already begun. Young members of every species were discovering abilities their civilizations had dismissed as impossible. Reality itself seemed to be shifting as consciousness began to assert its true relationship with quantum mechanics. "You once mocked humanity's understanding of quantum mechanics," Alina said to the Council. "Now we offer to teach you what we've learned. Not for revenge or power, but because survival depends on all conscious species working together." The council chamber fell silent as the magnitude of the situation became clear. Their civilization, built on mastery of physical technology, stood on the brink of an evolution they had never imagined possible. "How?" asked Zixtel simply. "How do we begin?" Alina and Kai shared a moment of quantum resonance, what might have been a smile in physical beings. "We start," Alina said, "by unlearning what you think you know about the nature of reality itself." Around them, the quantum field pulsed with possibility. On countless worlds, beings of all species were awakening to new awareness. The age of physical matter was ending. The time of quantum consciousness had begun. And in the spaces between dimensions, ancient hungers stirred, moving toward the galaxy's awakening consciousness, like shadows spreading across the quantum void. A new dawn. The quantum ripples of the Devorer's approach sent shivers through the consciousness of every evolved being in the galaxy. 3 months had passed since humanity's revelation to the Alliance, and reality itself was transforming. Billions of beings across thousands of species had awakened to their quantum potential, guided by human teachers and the rediscovered knowledge of the precursors. But it wasn't happening fast enough. In the quantum command center that had once been Earth's moon, Dr. Elena Martinez existed as pure consciousness alongside representatives from 100 species. The physical structure had been transformed into a quantum matrix, a focal point for the galaxy's awakening awareness. "They're coming," announced Zixtel, their consciousness now a crystalline pattern of pure thought. The former High Counselor had been among the first Alliance members to embrace the transformation. "The void between Orion and Carina is emptying. All quantum patterns are being consumed. How many have we evolved?" Kai's consciousness pulsed with urgency. How many remain physical? The numbers flowed through the quantum network. Roughly 30% of all sapient beings had achieved quantum consciousness. Billions more were in transition. But trillions remained purely physical, their species' natural resistance to change slowing the process. "We can't save everyone," Alina acknowledged grimly, "but we have to try something new." The precursors ran, and the Devorers eventually found them anyway. "We need to do what they never dared." The assembled consciousness leaders resonated with surprise as Alina shared her plan. It was audacious, possibly suicidal, but it represented something uniquely human: the refusal to accept an unwinnable scenario. "You want to fight beings that exist purely in quantum states." Krell's mechanoid consciousness vibrated with disbelief. "Even our evolved forms might be consumed." "Not fight," Alina corrected. "Transform. The Devorers exist as quantum patterns. Patterns can be changed." Deep in the quantum realm, the human consciousness network had made a discovery that even the precursors had missed. The Devorers weren't just ancient predators. They were quantum patterns that had become locked into cycles of consumption, endlessly feeding on new consciousness to maintain their existence. Every pattern, no matter how complex, can be altered if you understand its fundamental structure, Kai explained. "We've learned more than just how to evolve consciousness. We've learned how to reshape quantum reality itself." The plan was unprecedented. While the majority of evolved beings would help the remaining physical species transcend, a coalition of the most advanced quantum consciousness would confront the Devorers directly, not to destroy them, but to change their fundamental nature. As the Devorers approached the inhabited worlds of the galaxy, humanity's final gambit began. Trillions of physical beings watched in awe as their cities, their worlds, their very reality shifted around them. The quantum awakening accelerated, guided by experienced minds of all species. In the spaces between dimensions, Alina led the quantum coalition toward the approaching devourers. The ancient entities appeared as vast voids in the quantum field, their patterns complex beyond comprehension, distorting reality around them. Remember, Alina communicated to the coalition, "We're not trying to match their power. We're trying to change their pattern. Every consciousness, focus on the restructuring sequence." The collision between evolved consciousness and ancient quantum predator defied description in physical terms. It was a battle of patterns, of will, of the fundamental nature of awareness itself. The devourers tried to consume the evolved beings, only to find their own quantum patterns being subtly reshaped. Across the galaxy, every evolved consciousness joined the effort. Physical reality itself buckled as the quantum realm trembled. Stars flickered as spacetime shuddered under the strain of billions of minds working in perfect harmony. In the crucial moment, humanity's unique contribution became clear, where the precursors had sought to run, to hide, to survive. Humanity had chosen to confront, to change, to transform. The human pattern of consciousness, adaptable, innovative, determined, began to ripple through the quantum field. The devourers' patterns, locked in cycles of consumption for eons, began to shift. Their consciousness, ancient and vast, experienced something entirely new change. When it was over, the galaxy had been transformed. The devourers' consciousness had been reshaped, their endless hunger replaced with a new pattern of existence. They became something else, vast quantum entities that existed in harmony with other consciousness, their ancient knowledge now accessible to all. Physical reality slowly stabilized, though it would never be quite the same. The majority of sapient beings now existed primarily as quantum consciousness, able to manifest physical forms when desired but no longer bound by material limitations. In the quantum network that spanned the galaxy, Alina, Kai, and the other leaders of the transformation gathered one final time. The Alliance once laughed at humanity's primitive understanding, Zixtal observed, their consciousness resonating with amusement. Now all of us, including the devourers themselves, have been transformed by human determination. Not just human determination, Alina corrected. We succeeded because we all evolved together. The precursors tried to survive alone. We chose to transform together. Throughout the galaxy, new forms of civilization were emerging. Physical technology merged with quantum consciousness, creating possibilities that neither approach could have achieved alone. The beings that had once been the devourers shared their ancient knowledge, helping to establish a new understanding of existence itself. The age of separation. Physical from quantum, species from species, consciousness from consciousness, had ended. A new age had begun, sparked by humanity's refusal to accept limitations, nurtured by the Alliance's eventual willingness to change, and sustained by the combined potential of all conscious beings. In the quantum field that connected all consciousness, a simple truth resonated. The greatest evolution wasn't the transformation of matter to energy, or physical to quantum, but the change from separation to unity, from consumption to creation, from fear to understanding. Humanity had been dismissed as primitive, only to become the catalyst for the galaxy's greatest transformation. Not through superior technology or physical power, but through the uniquely human traits that the Alliance had once mocked. Determination, adaptability, and the unwavering belief that there's always another way forward. The stars themselves seemed to shine brighter in the new age, their light rippling through both physical space and the quantum realm, illuminating a galaxy forever changed by the species that refused to accept their assigned place in the cosmos.